Hi Cromer Wildcats, I have a challenge for you for physical education class this week. The name of the game is Hopscotch. Hopscotch's got its origins from way back in ancient Britain, and it was used by the Roman soldiers as a way of training their troops. Their course was about 100 feet long and pretty much had to do the same skills that we do. The school children picked up on it, made a game out of it, put some numbers in it, and had some rules. But basically it's similar to what we would now see football players doing in training, where they had to run through tires, stepping through each tire. So let's go learn how to play hopscotch. First of all, I'm going to show you how to set up the game of hopscotch. There's many different ways you can do it. One way would be, if you're inside, you can use tape, mark it out. I use chalk, sidewalk chalk. Or what we used to do when I was a kid is we used a regular rock, and we could etch numbers and squares on the sidewalk using just a rock. And then notice I also use this lid to create the rectangles. What you want to make sure though is, no matter how you do it, that you want to make sure the rectangle is big enough for a person's foot to fit in there. So I have the game set up, and now each player, you could be either play by yourself or with a group of people, but you need some kind of marker, or lagger as they call it. And it could be a rock, it could be a coin, it could be a bean bag, it could be a bottle cap, anything that would mark the box when you throw it in. So if you're playing by yourself, there's no need to determine who goes first, second, third, and so on. But if you're playing with a group of people, there's different ways you could come up with to decide the order that people go in. One way would be to do rock, paper, scissors. Another way, the traditional way of doing it, is each person tosses their rock. So for example, you might pick a certain box, let's say it's number 5. So I would stand behind box number 1 and try to get my rock into number 5. And whoever gets it in there would be first, and then you could determine the order after that down the line. So I'm going to show you how to play hopscotch, just kind of going through the basic idea of the game, and then I'll go back and show you the rules, how to do it properly. And then those of you that are competitive and want to make it a competition between your friends, I'll show you how to win too. So I start by tossing the rock in box number 1, and wherever there's a single box, you land with 1 foot. Wherever there's 2 boxes, you land with both feet. Looks like this, without touching the lines. Balance, pick up the rock, and exit. Okay, now the next time through, I'm going to show you where I advance to the next box, and then also add some of the rules of the game. So now I have to go to box number 2 and do the same thing. Now when I go to box 3, I'll show you what it looks like with a double. So to complete the challenge, if I was doing this all by myself, is I would want to toss the marker one by one all the way till I got up to the number 8 box, and then I completed the challenge without any mistakes, which would mean without stepping on the line, where I had to balance on 1 foot without bringing my second foot down, or when I'm tossing the rock, I have to make sure that I toss it in the correct box. If I didn't, from the beginning, if I didn't toss the marker in the right box, I would just grab the rock and try it again until I got it right. When you're playing with a group of people, once you've determined your order, the person that goes first, they could complete this whole challenge without making mistakes and technically win that way. Otherwise, if the person makes any mistakes along the way, they would go to the end of the line, and then the next person would try. So you really don't lose your turn until you've broken one of the rules or made a mistake. So the winner then would be the first person to do all 8 challenges and then complete it without making a mistake. Some variations you could do too is you could try it backwards, which would be really difficult. But there's whole different ways you can play it, a lot of different rules. Just depends on what kind of rules you want to establish. And there you have it. That's the game of hopscotch.